Hi, I'm Nina Browley from McGee's, and this is part 2 of the basics of leasing. Almost all leases, whether they be commercial or retail, will contain a process for increasing the rent once every year. This is known as the rent review clause. These clauses can be quite technical and hard for tenants to understand. The most common methods of commercial rent review are fixed percentage increases or consumer price index increases. Let's talk about fixed percentage increases and their advantages and disadvantages. A fixed percentage increase is a fixed rent increase that takes place on specified dates during the lease term. This will usually be on the anniversary of the commencement date of the lease. Simply put, this means that the rent will increase by the amount of the fixed increase every year on the anniversary of the commencement date. This amount is usually between 2 to 5% of the current rent per annum. An advantage of fixed percentage increases is that it's easy and straightforward to calculate it, leaving little room for disputes. The fixed percentage increase occurs automatically on each of the specified dates. Another advantage, it increases your certainty for both your landlord and yourself. You know where the rent will increase, therefore you can budget accordingly. A disadvantage of fixed percentage increases is, as a tenant, you may want to negotiate a lower percentage rent rate. However, the end figure will usually come down to supply and demand. Another disadvantage is that if there's an economy experiences downturn or a recession while you're paying a high rate, your rent may be increasingly disproportionate to your business growth. Now let's move on to CPI increases. A CPI rent increase is directly related to the movement in the consumer price index. The CPI is a measure of inflation. It is applied according to a complex formula contained in the lease. An advantage of a CPI rent is that it represents the fairest commercial rent review method for a tenant. This is because it keeps pace with the economy and is less likely to be disputed compared to a market rent. If the CPI increases or decreases, the rent will change in line with the CPI. Although this method lacks the level of certainty of a fixed increase, it does have its advantages. Some disadvantages of the CPI rent review, though, is in recent years, CPI has been quite low, but in the last few months we've noticed a huge spike, making this a less than desirable method of increase in the current market for tenants. If you'd like further information, please contact us here at McGee's. Thanks for your time.